that you have all of your patterns. Front side, front center, back side, back center, yoke, sleeve, collar, skirt panels. On the back side and center panels, mark out the notches. Sew the panels together, making sure the notches match up with a 1 centimeter seam allowance. Sew the yoke and back panels together with a 1 centimeter seam allowance. Sew a pair of skirt panels together with a 1 centimeter seam allowance. Let's sew the back and completed skirt panels together with a 1 centimeter seam allowance. On the front, side and center panels, mark out the notches. Sew the panels together with a 1 centimeter seam allowance. Make sure to check that the notches match up. Repeat for the other side. Sew the front top and front skirt panels together with a 1 centimeter seam allowance. Repeat for the other side. Starting from the zip notch, sew the zipper to the center front with a 1 centimeter seam allowance. When the zip is zipped up, check that the seams align up nicely. Sew the rest of the center front with a 1 centimeter seam allowance. Fold the belt loop panel into half and sew 1 centimeter from the folded edge. Grab a pair of scissors and trim away the excess seam allowances to reduce it down to 0.5 cm. Turn it inside out. I'm using a loop turner. You can use any other tool you have. And iron well. Divide the belt loop panel into 5 equal pieces and cut. To sew the belt loop to the front panel, at the seam, mark out the waistline. Measure the width of the desired belt and using the waistline as the middle, mark out the top and bottom. Sew the belt loop down along the top marking. flip the belt loop over and top stitch to secure. Grab your desired belt. Check that the loop is not too tight or too loose. Make a marking on the belt loop so that it aligns with the bottom marking. If you don't have much belt loop fabric left, tuck in and top stitch. However, if you have a lot of fabric left, like me, grab your scissors to trim down the excess. Sew along the marking. Sew the other belt loop on the front and one at the center back. Sew the front and back panels together along the shoulder. And side seams with a 1 centimeter seam allowance. Sew the remaining last 2 belt loops at the side seam. Fold the collar into half and sew along the short edges with a 1 centimeter seam allowance. Grab a pair of scissors and snip into the seam allowances to reduce the bulk. Turn inside out. And iron well. Along the front neckline, mark out the collar notches. On the collar, mark out the shoulder notches. Sew the panels together, aligning the collar to the collar notch, shoulder notch to the shoulder seam. Shoulder notch to the shoulder seam, collar to the collar notch. Sew the panels together with a 1 centimeter seam allowance. Sew the front facing to the yoke along the shoulder with a 1 centimeter seam allowance. Align the facings to the neckline. And sew the panels together with a 1 centimeter seam allowance. Make sure that the zip is flipped open before sewing. Also ensure that the shoulder seams are aligned. Check for any folds or puckering. Grab a pair of scissors and snip into the seam allowances to reduce the tension. Turn it inside out and iron well. To secure the yoke panels together, baste along the armhole with a 0.5 cm seam allowance. Then, to seal the bottom up, sew in the ditch, making sure to catch onto the inner yoke panel below. Mark out the notches on the sleeve panel. Sew a crimping stitch along the sleeve crown. Fold the sleeve into half and sew along the side seam with a 1 cm seam allowance. Fold up the sleeve hem by 3 cm and iron well. Then top stitch 2.5 cm from the folded edge. Sew the sleeve to the armhole with a 1 cm seam allowance. For our final step, fold up the skirt hem by 1 cm and iron well. Then top stitch 0.8 cm from the folded edge. And there you have it. Your dress is completed.